Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at a pair of wireless Bluetooth headphones that the folks over at Matone were kind enough to send me, called the QY8s. While it's not necessarily the most appealing name in the world, if you're judging a product just off of its name, then you're probably judging it off the wrong reason. Now these headphones come in at about 30 bucks and they're in a price range that's kill or be killed. And the reason I say that is because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of wireless earbuds within that $30 to $40 range, and a lot of them skimp out and they end up making a product that just turns up to be a piece of trash. I've been using these earbuds for about a week now, and I'm pretty happy to say that they've turned out to be a very respectable little set. Generally speaking, the sound quality from any pair of headphones in this price range is gonna be about the same. And that is to say, pretty good, actually better than you probably expect, but you likely won't be blown away, especially for an audio person. But if you're just looking for something casually, or maybe for the gym, you're definitely not going to be disappointed with the sound output. As a whole, the sound is actually very well rounded, again keeping in mind the price. Highs sound pretty good and they don't crackle when you crank them up, and if you get a song with enough bass in it, you actually feel just a slight bass pump, but not too much to be overwhelming. Beats. They also respond really well to equalizers, which is nice. I can hear the changes in the different parts of the audio when I'm tweaking it, which is nice for me because I like to work out a lot and I tend to raise the bass a little to kind of get a strong downbeat so I can get in like a rhythm or a zone, and then I crank up the highs a little bit just to accentuate the vocals. On the spec side of things, they come in either white or black and use Bluetooth 4.1, pretty standard. They're not the lightest out of some that I've used, but they're definitely not the heaviest, and they're just fine weight-wise for usage. There's also an estimated use time of about 7 hours, which never caused any issues for me. It charges with just your standard micro USB, which is super convenient considering basically half of everything anymore that uses some sort of power is charged by that. There's also a range of about 10 meters, which, like I said in a similar review before, it means I can make it about past half court playing basketball without any worries of signal dropping. And for me personally, that's perfectly fine, because I normally just warm up when I'm playing basketball and I don't really have a reason to go beyond half court. They are sweatproof too, which is great for us gym goers, especially me because I find a way to sweat standing still somehow. They have a CVC 6.0 noise reduction rating, which on normal terms means that the outside world is just considerably muffled, and that's good especially if you're into lifting. They've got your standard volume up and down buttons, which can be long pressed while the music is playing, and that changes the tracks. You can actually use the power button too to either pause or play music or audio, which is really handy. There's also a built-in mic for calls and voice commands, and while that's something I didn't really use too often, I did use it, and caller said I sounded just fine, and they also sounded just fine through the headset itself. Things aren't all fine and dandy though with this headset. That's not a deal breaker, but I did notice that the headphones pretty consistently fell out of my ear just a few minutes after working out, really regardless of what size tip I used on them or what activity I was doing. If there was any sort of movement involved too much, they tended to fall out. There are only 3 different tip sizes, which, it's pretty standard, but I've gotten some other sets of headphones at this same price range that offer plenty more. But that said, everybody has different ear shapes and sizes, so your mileage might vary there. Also, that little clip-like thing, for lack of a better word, was just absolutely useless to me. I could never really get them to do anything but just sit there and float in my ear, and if I did somehow manage to get into my cartilage, it fell right out, because it's this super soft rubber. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for that part. And the clip issue is something that I think, if addressed, would really eliminate any problems that I had with the headphones themselves. I don't really think there are many earbuds, whether they're wireless or not, that won't fall out of your ear just on their own. But when those little clip things are made properly, that changes everything. I actually have another set of headphones that did the clips just right, and I can't even make them fall out of my ear. Overall, my verdict on these little guys is that they're definitely a safe buy in this risky price range, but on one condition. For day-to-day use, I've got no problem telling somebody that these are a solid set of earbuds. As for gym use though, I'd be happy to say the same if that ear clip thing situation was addressed, but until then I really can't recommend them for a gym goer. If you're going to be relatively stationary, maybe at a desk at work, or just lounging around the house, or walking around the house listening to music, you really shouldn't have any problems. And if that's the case, then these are definitely a viable option that you should consider, and one that I give a thumbs up because this price range, like I've said before, can put out some real trashy products. So that's all for this review. Definitely make sure to leave a thumbs up if it helped you, if you like it in any way, and subscribe for future content too if you like what I do. Also, always open for some feedback. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next video.